How would you like to make your first million? And today we have Rebeccah, which is the founder of Inspiring Results, joining from United States, Colorado. So Rebeccah, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Step 1, become a lifestyle entrepreneur or executive. Right?
I love it.
We're doing this for the life we want, right? Not to be held hostage by our commitment to serving humanity. So step 1, be a lifestyle entrepreneur. Step 2, you've got to break the silence, right? My last name is Silence. I'm obviously not. Use your voice. Tell your truth. Be more authentic and vulnerable than you think people can handle. Because only from your place of being raw and real, even if it gets messy, will you attract the people that want to be near your unique energy. And then I would say step 3 to making your first million is know what makes you different. I see this a lot. I've helped over 150 women become entrepreneurs and start their own companies. And we have to look at what differentiates you? What is so unique that people have to hire you because they're not going to get it anywhere else? And I'm not saying become the sun, moon, and stars or think you're all that in a bag of chips and the only one that can help people. But what makes you unique and different? I teach the practice of emotional healing. I'm the self-healing expert that goes deep in emotions. And I do it very differently, right? So what makes you different and unique? And then I would say step 4 is you've got to stay committed and recommit as many times a day as you need to. Not just every day recommit. You might need to recommit 100 times a day to the mission and to the vision and to standing by you, because you won't want to keep going. And that's inevitable. I think one of the most important personal growth journeys anybody can take is an entrepreneurial journey, because it's you with you and you with God. And when we don't feel like it anymore, or when we think something's gone wrong or things aren't working or nobody cares about who we are and what we do and how we serve, how do you stay committed anyway? I call it being the source of your own encouragement. So step 4 is commit, stay committed. Step 5, be the source of your own encouragement. And what I mean by that is you've got to have your own back. You have to learn the art of self-validation versus needing the world to go, yes, good job, keep going. Because there are going to be days where it's crickets. There are going to be days where you're judged, where you're misunderstood, where people literally tell you you're crazy. Who do you think you are? What are you doing? You have to be able to go, I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going, and I have my own back. So being the source of your own encouragement, I actually think is everything. It's how I've kept a company going since 2008.
Wow, that's Rebeccah. This is fantastic, and I love your first step. Yeah, I think that you started with something really, really powerful, which it means become a lifestyle entrepreneur. Yeah, and I think that this is really powerful for everybody out there to make the first million, because we want people to be happy, to be healthy, and to make the first million at the same time. And for that, you have to open a business, right? That you're not running, you're running this business not running you. Because
Exactly.
sometimes literally the business can kill you. Yeah. Tell me about it. You know, when I made my first company, we managed to sell over 5 million. And it was a point where so many clients, they all want to talk to me. And I'm thinking, oh, the people are going to kill me. They all want to talk to me. I'm only one person. There are way so many. They don't care. They want to talk to me, all of them, and they don't figure out I need to eat, I need to sleep, and I have to do some work if it's possible. So you have to organize and structure the business in a way that is a lifestyle. And clearly, Rebecca, you're passionate about what you do. Yeah. Um, so I get it how you started your company. Yeah. Tell us the story. Tell us, why you opened your company in the first place. Yeah. Why you so passionate about
Yeah.
this topic?
Well, anyone out there has it in them, again, if they'll be committed, right, to create a life that fits in with them versus a life where you're trying to fit in, right? I want your company to fit in with you. I want your life to fit in with you. And for me, it took a crisis to launch me. I want everybody to hear me say, I do not believe at all that we need a breakdown to break through ever. We don't need crisis to force our hand or to motivate us. But for me, I had just gotten out of a domestic violence marriage and I had a 2-year-old, and I knew I was going to have sole custody, and I knew I was in financial devastation if I left my husband, that I would end up foreclosing on my home, which I did, going bankrupt, which I did, and I was going to have to scrape my way out of the hole my life was in and that I was in and figure it out. So for me, at the time, I was a school counselor and a school counseling coordinator of a charter school district in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I was not going to make enough money working in schools to get out of debt and to support us and to get on my feet. I was going to have 100% responsibility, not just for me, but for my child and my dog. And I had no idea how I was going to do it. I didn't have, just like many of you, a model of a woman who had done it before in business. I didn't know anybody that had done it, but I thought, probably the best thing I could do is take my gifts and talents and ability to serve families and couples and individuals that were in leadership. And I decided to go for it. I heard guidance telling me, go for it, be an entrepreneur. So I did. I started Inspired Results, and I named my company Inspired Results because I wanted people connected to their spirit, to the truth of who they are in spirit as their highest and best, regardless of results, as they pursued results that inspired them. And so Inspired Results was born, and I'm so grateful.
The name is great. The name is fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like God gave me the name. I can't take credit.
Oh, it's very good. It's very good. So, okay, but then, Rebecca, when we're running the business, life is goes on, yeah? So let's talk about a little bit more about how to overcome adversity while running a business.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the problem that we have, it have nothing to do with the business. I remember once I got a phone call and I was in London and I got a phone call. The time my mom was in Cuba, really ill. They get a phone call and said, look, you have to take a plane and be tomorrow in Havana because your mom is really ill. So next day I took a plane and fly to Havana. Long story short, it took me $100,000 and 1 year without working to save my mom's life. It was a big job.
Wow.
So my business was running autopilot with my team, and everything worked out perfectly. And my mom is healthy and happy. I just spoke with her. So what it means is you're running a business, but life is coming on the way, and there are a lot of things that you have to deal with the people that you love. Children get sick. You get married again. Things can work out or not. So tell us a little bit more about what challenges have you have in your business with the personal life and how you overcome those challenges.
Yeah. Well, and I teach it like this, Harry. I don't think life is happening to us or for us. I think life just happens, and it's going to keep happening, right? Life is just happening. And then what we have control over 100% of the time, and this is what I teach my clients in my private practice. I've had over 1,000 VIP clients come through my private practice over the years. And what I teach them all is life's going to be life. And you get to choose who you're going to be in the moments that are those doozy moments through the adversity. So I could tell you so many stories about personal adversities that I've had to deal with as a woman in business and as someone who's been in business a long time, as one of the first coaches out there, right? There weren't very many life coaches yet in 2008. And I had a therapy background.
No, many, you're right, yeah.
Right? So I'm a pioneer in the coaching industry. So the biggest adversity that I'll share about is I'm humming along. I had gotten on my feet with the company by going to a top 40 radio station and pitching them. And I got a weekly segment where I was answering questions to the community. And within 2 weeks, I had a 6-month wait list. And so
Wow.
I thought everything was just perfect and great. And I was
Give you
doing
the idea to go to this radio station to do this. That was amazing. That was a great
I
idea.
blame it on God again. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I didn't have media training or radio experience, but they loved it. And we were number
So what you
one.
did, you just show up there and told them, look, I want to do this with you guys?
Yeah, I reached out to the DJ first that I wanted to do the show with, that I still do a show with 14 years later.
Wow.
And he got me a meeting with the owners of the company. And I said, listen, let me make your morning show shine and different and special. And we had like appointment-based listening. People that did not listen to that station would tune in just to talk to me and to hear me and just to see what I was going to say next. So everything couldn't have been better on paper, right? And then I'm married a second time. I get pregnant with my second baby. I'm on top of the world. I'm thinking, I have beat my crazy past. I have everything I want. It's smooth sailing from here. And I got diagnosed with cancer, and they gave me a 5% chance to live. So that adversity has shaped me more than anything in my entire life. And what I will tell you, the biggest lesson for me was in the face of cancer was realizing how easy it is to be the best of who we are when everything's great. But who are you going to be when life's being life and the whole bottom of your life falls out? And for me, when I had survived domestic violence, marriage, and so much of the crazy that I grew up with, you know, I had done a lot of healing work already. And I remember realizing with the cancer diagnosis, this isn't more trauma healing. This is life being life. And I get to be my best now more than ever. And I'm not going to beat this if I'm not my best more than ever. And I made a decision to let the healed me lead the mission called my life while I was sick. And I never identified as sick or dying. I fought, I committed to life, commitment. I was the source of my own encouragement, and I made it. And nothing has changed my life more. I will also share, I really believe with all my heart that before cancer, I was very achievement focused. I'm ambitious, obviously. I'm driven, obviously. But I thought the goal was achieving, crossing finish lines, checking it off the list. What I learned from cancer is it's all about alignment. It's all about me connected to the truth of who I am and me consistently being the grounded, centered, best of me that I'm capable of being. And then from that place, there's nothing I can't create. But my success metric today and the success metric that I teach my clients matters more than anything after cancer. The lesson is, are you aligned? Are you connected to the truth of who you are, being the truth of who you are no matter what? Because that is freedom and that is living.
Absolutely. And let's talk about that because, you know, we see in a lot of entrepreneurs out there that, you know, when you make the measurement of success, you know, how to make your first million, how to become a million. I know because, you know, when I started the business, my first business with the property, all I want to make is a million. Yeah, I want to become a million. I want to make a million. I want to make a million. And guess what happened? I make it and I didn't even realize. Thing that the accountant told me. I was so busy inside the whole engine of the whole thing, you know, running and with the clients, with everything that I didn't even notice. They told me, and I'm like, what? And that's it. It lasted 1 day, 2 days. It was not a big deal. It was not all this big thing that I saw, wow, that's going to make me fulfill, and I actually made it, and things like that. So to the entrepreneurs out there, yeah. So what the conversation is about, what measurement of success you're really gonna want to apply in your life that we give you fulfillment and we give you happiness, yeah, and we give you joy, and what type of business, because exactly like for example, you start like you said, the uh, choose a lifestyle business, yeah. My first business was not a lifestyle business because I was not even thinking in a lifestyle or not even in a life. I just want to become a millionaire, make a million, 1 million. You understand? That was my drive. So, but little did I know, the again out of the traumatic experience in business, I opened a restaurant, one of the civil business, and it was a big disaster. Lost over $200,000. My other business also collapsed. I lost my girlfriend back on the day. Uh, Everything went down. Yeah, my other business almost collapsed because of this, and so I realized why I didn't want. I didn't even knew what kind of
Mhm.
new business I'm gonna have, but I knew very clear what I didn't want. I didn't want to be in a business that I had to be there Monday to Sunday all the time and running with the food. It happens that I love to eat food, but to cook it and to be there, not that much like I thought. So
Mhm.
you, so you find out, okay, what you don't want in your life, and then you come back in a different way. All us entrepreneurs, we always come back in a different way, in a more sophisticated way, um, than what we really want. Yeah. And then you design exactly what you spoke about, a lifestyle business, a business that you construct in your own way. I have clients. I have a client that is an owner of 300 supermarkets and he have 4,000 employees. And every time that he talk to me, I'm like, man, I'm feel so sorry for him. But he's love it. He's love it. He's passionate about,
Mhm.
and that works for him. Yeah, but for me, I'm like, oh my god, 4,000 employee. You know,
Yeah.
it's not for me. It's not for me. We have few people in my team. Very easy. I'm at peace. Same like you described. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Yeah, nothing to prove to anybody.
I love
And when you
that.
coming from that space, you have peace. What happened is that because you had that peace and you are confident of who you are, you know what happened? You don't have these negative emotions, yeah, that becomes a physical emotion, and that's probably what ended with cancer and everything. Probably the source of your cancer.
Yeah.
It was not your business. Could be, the negative emotion about the relationship, abusive relationship that accumulates, or could be also accumulated from the childhood for the net. So these negative emotions, where they accumulate and accumulate and accumulate, and you cannot release them because you're not at peace, you are in a place, then they turn into a physical emotion. I know that because my dad, he goes,
May I share about
yes,
negative
yes, go
emotions
for
and
it,
how to
absolutely.
process? Because this is really my jam here. I mean, and I think once you're living life and doing business on your terms, the negative emotions start to show you where you're misaligned. So they're an alarm system, not saying anything is wrong, telling you to be more true to yourself, right? And we can't think that the negative emotion is a problem and expect to be in any type of positive, healthy leadership. The negative emotion, when we're willing to be in our body, because so many of us, right? And I talk to clients about this every single day. We're go, 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 go. So we can almost be dissociated and disconnected from our bodies and our emotions because we're in that to do mode. But when you're aligned and grounded and willing to be with the negative emotions, then you can see where you need to lead even more authentically, right? And so I just want people to know negative emotions aren't bad. They're a sign to be more you, more brave, more vulnerable, more authentic. And the other thing I just want to touch on here, Harry, because what you said was just so brilliant. Let's not skip over the real truth that for many, many, many gorgeous leaders out there listening, they don't know what they want. And it's easy for us to sit here and go, after so many lessons learned in business and in life, now we know who we are and now we know what we want. So if you're thinking, all right, Harry, that's easy for you. All right, Rebecca, that's easy for you. I just want to point out, if you know what you don't want, you have access to what you do want, right? Make a list.
100%.
Here's what I don't want anymore. Then guess, if you have to, at what you would want
By
instead.
accident, I landed in what I want because
Yes,
I'm very
right.
clear what I didn't want. Yeah.
But not by
A
accident,
lot of
right?
people
Like,
go,
you gotta
Harry, let's do a
wear-
restaurant. I say, hold on a minute. I know what is involved in this. No way. No restaurant.
I just know how painful it is for people that want to know what they want, but they have no idea. So my number one hack is write down what you don't want and then guess what you would want instead. My number two hack, write down what you want for everybody else, because I guarantee that's what you want for you.
More deep, and people that believe what you believe, that will join your organization. Yeah. We have these we do conference all over the world with our workshop speakers and leaders. Yeah. And I always telling them, you're not showing to this workshop. You think that you're showing for me, you're showing for yourself. This what this organization is about. You guys are showing for yourselves. And you also believe that speakers are leaders. That's why you come to our training. That's why you are part of our organization or our community. The whole point, Rebecca, is that it takes a while to figure out what do you really want, but also what give you fulfillment, yeah, and what give you peace, yeah. Because when you are in this mode, I need to have this Ferrari and this house to prove everyone that I made it, or I have to achieve X so I can show someone. Maybe your dad told you when you were a kid you're not worth it, or your mom or your friend, and you want to show them that you actually are worth it, and you're operating. I always say that sometimes, sometimes no, most of us, when we were human beings until we were 3, 4, 5 years old. Then something happened in that in that time, or 7 years old. Something, even the teacher told you you're stupid. Your mom told you something and you thought that she doesn't love you. Something happened in that period that the human being is lost and the computer starts to run you, and you want to prove something to someone. And then if you become an entrepreneur because your computer is running you, now you want to make a lot of money. You want to become a billionaire because you need to prove to your dad that you're worth it. And in that rat race, yeah, you can become wealthy, you can do this, but you don't have peace. You don't have. You cannot operate exactly like you say. You cannot be centered. Yeah. And again, this is what actually happens. So, Rebecca, what is the point that when you speak with your clients, how you can open the conversation to them, saying like, look, you are running a business, okay, but we need to find what's your purpose. What do you really want? What gives you fulfillment? What makes you happy? For our business, right? We do conference all over the world. What gives me fulfillment? I tell you what gives me fulfillment. Sometimes the metro, sometimes here in London, I take the metro. And the people said, I dress always like this, very colorful, so people, impossible to miss me. And the people in the metro say, Harry, is that you? Man, I saw you speak. I saw in that conference. I was on the second floor. Look, I say what you did, man. This is my business. This is my family. Let's take a picture. And, I'm quite embarrassed in the metro. So everybody looking at me. I say, what are these people? I don't even never meet them. And yeah, man, look, I saw you. I remember you. It's you. I know it's you. Let's take a picture. And then, but I arrived to my house and I'm thinking, wow, it's amazing that I say something in a conference from 1,300, 600 people, someone that was on a second floor, and it changed his life. Mm-hmm. And he will never forget. So when you transform someone's life, when you make a big impact, so the level of fulfillment that you can find, you get paid in better currency than money. Love, appreciation, good energy to you. Every people wishes to you. Like the other day, I was talking with my partner. And I said, we forgot the last time that we paid for food because people constantly called us to invite us to eat. come, Harry and Lily, come to eat with us, spend time with us. So, and that energy is important for you to be healthy and to be happy, right?
Your authenticity, yeah. So if I'm working with somebody on purpose, I'm going to just give you my really bold, direct answer, right? We all have a survival self that we created. The version of ourselves that thinks, here's what's right, here's what's wrong, here's what's acceptable, here's what's not, here's what I should do, here's what I shouldn't do, should not be in charge of the mission called your life or your business, right? So we all have a survival self. We design who we really are. I do not think we wake up one day and know who we are. And I think the purpose of our life is to decide and design who we are and to say yes to reinventing ourselves. And then whatever gap you close between who you created to survive unconsciously, innocently, and who you became, that's your company. Because that is you able now to teach people how to get there. I called my book, I got a major publishing deal a couple of years ago. And I wrote a book, Coming Back to Life, a roadmap to heal from pain to create the life you want. It's one best self-worth and self-love book in the world. It's a phenomenal award-winning book that is me teaching you how to be internally foundationally sound and how to say yes to reinventing yourself once you know enough with survival and your purpose is to be the full expression of you, and that you gets to teach people how to be the fullest expression of that, of the people you're serving, right? So this book will give you everything you need to find your way. I don't know your way, but your purpose is being fully you, and you won't wake up one day and know what the hell that is, who the hell that is, what the hell that means. It's a decision. I created Rebeccah Silence.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The survival, Rebeccah.
I created her,
right?
Literally.
Right. You see the red lipstick, you see the jewelry, you feel the vibes. Yeah. But I don't need, and none of you need, anything outside of you to be different, for you to be okay, for you to know your worth, or for you to know you've arrived. You've arrived because you're still alive. You're here, and we need you.
Now, Rebeccah, the next question is this one. What about the people, and the entrepreneurs and the women, and what message do you have for the women especially, or for all the entrepreneurs that they never find the courage? And imagine that they have running a business and they need to be 40, 50, 60 years in this abusive relationship because they think that there is no that they cannot do it by themselves. They're gonna make, and they never find the strength or the courage to say, you know what, I have to ask for the divorce. I understand that there are children in the middle, but I have to quit this, and I deserve better. Yeah. And the sad thing about that is that we only have one life, and there are people there suffering and trapped in the careers, in the relationships, in the business, literally trapped for years. Yeah. And they are unhappy, they are not fulfilled, and somehow they don't find this strength, to rebuild themselves until something dramatic happened. I hear a lot of stories, a lot,
They wait for that.
I was an employee when I came here to London. I only become an entrepreneur because my dad got cancer. I didn't have money to go and see him. And then I promised to myself, I cannot have this anymore, that, the people that I love, that are in another country, they're sick, and I cannot take a plane to see them or to send even $1 medicine. I was so broke when that happened, and then a few years down the line, then I become an entrepreneur. I have the finance, my business running autopilot, and now it happened to my mom. And it was literally nobody could help her, only me. I was the only person in my family that can literally disappear for 1 year and have the resources to disappear for a year to deal with that. Nobody else, because everybody has a job, everybody was working. So, the point of the story is, what how can we empower people because, for example, and let me ask you direct question to you, it took a lot of courage for you, even being in an abusive relationship, to say, I have enough. So where do you find the strength?
Yeah. So if you can survive survival, you can survive alignment. Nobody tells us that, right? Like the reason we think it's easier to stay stuck in our patterns and to stay small and your word trapped, we think it's easier. But really, we know we can survive it. Right? We know we can survive what we've already survived. We don't know we can survive the possibility of the people closest to us not approving of our dream life, our dream company, going away because I don't know who you are anymore.
And what people are telling you, say, I'm thinking to divorce, and then the people say, wow, you're crazy, you have kids. What are you
Yes.
gonna do? You shouldn't be doing this. That people try
My
to
mother,
walk you
100%.
a lot.
100%.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, this conversation and this particular question, it just gets me all fired up because my own mother said to me, don't leave your husband. Don't let him see you sweat. And I looked at her and I said, that's crazy. I'm not going to have my kid watching me. So, what I want you to know is you have more courage than you know. And what I call it when we're staying stuck and small and safe in survival is high functioning unhappiness. Okay. We're very good at high functioning unhappiness. We talk about high functioning depression and anxiety and addiction. I don't know anybody else talking about high functioning unhappiness. Why do we stay there? Because we don't want to threaten the high functioning part of our life. We don't want to pursue happiness that may or may not even be real. We want to keep what we've built, right? And you were talking about it earlier. There's nothing to prove. I'm going to say there's nothing to lose except you. And don't you dare let that happen. And we don't need that breakdown to break through. And we don't need to wait for a crisis.
100%.
And if you've already gotten this far, you're so much more courageous already than you're giving yourself credit for. But it isn't anything to glorify being courageous and high functioning and unhappy. Being courageous and high functioning and happy and letting anyone or anything fall away that wouldn't want you there, that's a living.
The other day, Rebecca, the other day in this very same podcast, I interview one lady, and she's a property investor. She's doing very well, and I think she's over 50, yeah, and she has been working on her life in the health sector, yeah. And she graduated, so she has a student loan, so now she has to pay the loan, so she's working in a job that is not fulfilling her. She's not happy all her life. And what happens is that one of the parents goes sick, and all of a sudden she has a $90,000 bill that she had to pay, plus her student loan that still is around. And the woman saying, look, I can't take this anymore. I cannot afford with my job. I cannot pay the bills on my dad. So guess what? The woman became a property investor. She went to a property course. She started to learn to invest in property. 2 years down the line, now she paid all the debts. She's making a lot of money, and she's so happy, And she was sharing her happiness with me, and I'm thinking how lucky I am that early in my life, or how lucky we are, Rebecca, that early in our life, that doesn't have to take the whole life. And I want to get really sick to start to live, to start to do what we really want. Yeah. She was very happy. She was telling me, Harry, I'm empowering now my nieces, they both want to have business because they saw me so happy with my business. Now they say, Granny, can you help me to have a business? And she said, yeah, what business you want? Okay, I want to do pet. Okay, I help you. Tell me a little bit. Let me try to talk to someone. Oh, now, so she's trying even to make the nieces, to open the small business or whatever they like. She said, Harry, I just want to encourage them because I know the freedom that the entrepreneur lifestyle is going to give to this girl, which I never had my whole life. I live, she said, I live my whole life just to pay my debts and to be all my life unhappy in a job that, didn't pay me well anyway. and until my dad doesn't get really, really old, and a huge bill came, that's what gave me the last push. And a lot, sometimes in this broadcast, when we talk with the entrepreneurs, usually, Rebecca, the big shift happen when people hit rock bottom line. The other entrepreneur I interview here, same thing, makes millions, and he has a house in New Zealand, and he bought everything he wanted. And after he saw, he said, wow, but this is really what I work for? Only for that? Not fulfilling. After 3 months, he lost everything. He's end up in the coach of the mom because you take the wrong decision. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think so often we think if I just got divorced, then everything would be okay. Or if this bad client went away, then everything would be okay. And it's almost like we unconsciously are waiting for the external to change, and then we'll be okay. And I think that's how you end up in a breakdown to break through. Nothing outside of you needs to change.
Nothing wrong with the breakdown to break through. Nothing wrong with
There's
it.
nothing wrong with it, but it's not necessary, right?
If it didn't happen to me, maybe we won't have this conversation. I still will have a job and everything. And see, my dad didn't have cancer. I'm telling you, about 20 years ago. We cannot have this conversation because I find my job and I live in that life, and that's it. Yeah. So nothing wrong with breakdown to break through.
But we're going to have enough adversity anyway, right? Yeah. Like adversity is coming anyway. So you don't have to wait, and don't think, my
100%,
point, right, is don't think once the external changes, whether it's the money in the bank account or now your spouse is, divorced from you and now you're free. Don't think the external changing will give you the freedom to create your business on your terms. Create it all on your terms.
It doesn't have to be like
it doesn't have
you
to
can
be.
Start from today. You can start today to create your life and your business in the way you want. Yeah.
Right. A lot of people wait for the permission outside of them or for external scenery to change, but then their patterns continue. So I'm just saying, get internally sound as the best of you, and then see who will grow with you. Don't get divorced before you tried to reinvent your marriage. Don't fire your business partner before you try to reinvent the relationship. Don't think changing countries or houses or companies is going to give you the internal satisfaction. And I just think we don't have to wait for life to force our hand, because we'll have enough adversity anyway. Be you and see who grows with you. Give people a chance to grow with you, reinvent with you. Let people meet a brand new you with no explanation, and let them catch up.
The truth is that you can be in a business that you love. You can be in a relationship that you love. You can be as healthy as you want to be. All this is actually possible.
Absolutely.
All what it's going to take is for you to realize what kind of life you want to live, and what will make you happy. Like, for example, for me, make me happy to spend time with wonderful people like you, That give me a lot of happiness, and I talk a lot with a lot of people, and this time for me is priceless. In the same way that I wake up in the morning and I go for a walk, and I walk as long as I want, and then I can release my emotions and think about the business, and I design the business how I want it. I didn't want to have gazillion employees anymore, and I didn't want to have big business running a huge operation that give me a lot of headache. I can our products are high tickets, so we have products from $250,000, 100,000. So we have few clients, they happy with our product, they keep consuming our products. And that's the way that we operate, and we have freedom. And the other thing is, there is nothing to prove. More than $1 million, like I said, in money, is if you can decide what is your millionaire lifestyle. Because for me, time, honestly, and that currency of gratitude that I find because of the work we do, we receive from the people. This for me, honestly, is more important than the money, because that's what keep me happy, what keep me alive, what keep me fulfilled. And when in that frequency, exactly like you said, Rebecca, when you live in that frequency, there is no cancer, there is no illness, there is nothing that can get through you.
Right, because
You're
nothing else.
vibrating in so high frequency. You are so high.
Yeah.
There is nothing can get to you when you're vibrating that. And this, you know what? All these millionaires, more than 500 we interview in this podcast, they all will change all the money for one day more of health. No?
Oh my gosh.
So,
and I think a cool journal question would be, if I was already a millionaire and fulfilled, what would I do? Right? Like if you're already there, what would you do? And there is nothing to prove. And when your happiness is dependent on how you showed up and who you chose to be, and nothing outside of you needs to change for you to be happy, you are free. And from there, you're a really freaking attractive leader.
Unstoppable.
Following. And nothing can threaten you from that place. And nothing outside of us, cancer, finances, nothing outside of us is more powerful than we are.
Yeah.
That's really what you're saying. And I love it.
And in that state, Rebecca, you cannot attract clients that will be abusive to you. You cannot attract partners that will be abusive to you. You cannot, it won't come up to your space because you're so happy. You're vibrating in so high frequency that these people will feel uncomfortable next to you.
Or they can try, but you're going to say
they cannot get you. Exactly. They cannot get you. So so this is what the message. Yeah. So thank you so much, Rebecca. This has been very inspiring, like the name of your company. Yeah. So you it's literally you do what it says in the tin. Yeah. Yeah. I knew it when I tell you I'm like your name of your company. Yeah. So, Rebecca, tell us, if somebody's in love with the conversation that we're having today and they want to buy your book, they want to join your organization, they want to know more about how they can find you, how this process works?
Yes. So you can buy Coming Back to Life, A Roadmap to Heal from Pain to Create the Life You Want, anywhere books are sold. You can visit me at Rebeccah Silence on any social media channel. Rebeccah has an H, Rebeccah, Silence. You can find me at Rebeccah Silence, any social media channel, including my YouTube channel. You can visit RebeccahSilence.com. And if you want to know more about my private work and corporate trainings, just shoot me a message from RebeccahSilence.com. I do VIP coaching with extraordinary leaders, so their life is on their terms, they're fulfilled, and they're high functioning and happy and free. That is the goal.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And with that note, see you everyone in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Rebecca break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.